I'm still kind of half asleep.
What time is it? 9, 10,
Yeah,
11, what,
it's
8?
8:30. I know. Hi guys. Hi conscious mothers. I'm so excited to be here with you. Come on, give you a second to come on. My very beautiful, special, glamorous guest today is McCarran. And I know McCarran because we met through a friend who had been through Awakened Motherhood, my program, and introduced us. And then McCarran went through Awakened Motherhood, and now um, I'm so excited to have her on to share with you and share in her light. And McCarran, say hi and introduce whatever you want to the group about yourself.
All right. So my name is McCarran Avalon, and I am one of Honor's biggest proponent for this course. It has changed my life. I would pay the money again and again and again, because what you're learning here is, like, if you're ever sitting in your life right now being like, there is more to life, I just know it and I can't figure it out. And like for 40 something years, I was like, I'm so smart, I know it's out there, I can't grasp it. And then this is the freaking key, what Honor's teaching you. This is the key to unlock the door for unlimited, every magical thing you've ever wanted in your life. And it's just a gift. It's the most essential gift you'll give yourself and your children and anybody that knows you. So I'm McCarran. Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys can see what Awakened Motherhood did for McCarran. You already knew tell us a little about your family, a little about well your current family configuration.
Okay. So
and the auspicious day that we met, actually.
Okay, so I started Honor's program on April 24th or 26th, the same day I told my husband I wanted to divorce him. So that was something that had already been in motion. It just happened to time on the same day that I started Honor's course. I have 2 boys. They just had birthdays, so 8 and 11. They were both premature. I had a really difficult time being a parent. I really struggled. High needs babies, high needs children, special needs children, difficult marriage because of that. And when I arrived to Honor, our clarity call, it just locked in. I mean, I was already locked into her from the first Consciously Created Motherhood video I watched of her. And then when I had that clarity call, I was just in a state of such dampened, my soul was just dampened. And I remember saying to her, my heart is black, like it's not who I am. And I used to be a person of like magic and like bright, shiny, authentic excellence and light. And I draw the people in, and I've just been dark and black and like, so that was the phone call. And what we discussed on that clarity call was to be able to find myself again and who I know I am and how to get there. And she, from that call, it was just like, let's do this. So if you're here listening to this, or future people who might listen to this video, you're here for a reason. You've already been called here. That's one. Number 2, just get on the call. Just do the clarity call. It's free. That 1 hour will give you so much insight to your life, even if you don't take this program. But if you're here, you're here for a reason, because you're being called here. Honor is a beacon. She's my lighthouse. I call her the lighthouse because she shines the light. All of us mothers are like, if we're in the fog, we see something shining and we're heading towards it. And that's what you're doing here right now. And so she will help you. That's why I'm here, to tell you my story of like before AM and after AM. So where we want to
thank you so much for your beautiful words. And I love that you guys, McCarran and I, had an instant connection. And our friend in common is also beautiful. In fact, Kat is coming on next Friday to share her story, which is really exciting. So the thing that I remember about you, I mean, the place where we start with this, with our chat, is, where were you before? And you said something about that. And I remember you being at that crossroads in your life and making a huge decision, but feeling like, I don't know I know kind of what I can't have anymore, what I can't do anymore, but I don't know exactly how to do what I want or even clearly what it looks like what I want moving forward. And I think so many moms who are in this group are in that place of I'm so disconnected from myself and my soul after so long of giving, giving, giving. My cup is empty, and like you, so many moms in here have kids with high needs, with special needs, with extra challenges, and have been giving so long that they feel totally depleted and disconnected from their own magic and their own light. So, will you say something about how you were kind of functioning, like in terms of your awareness of your anxiety or the overwhelm you were feeling in your day to day life before Awaken Motherhood and before we met, if you can remember?
Yeah, I mean, I think I drowned a lot of that out with alcohol, and I was really relying on that as my escape. And it was kind of a best friend. It was really all I had that I felt like could, I wasn't connecting to myself with it, but it was removing me from the pain of my daily life. But, you know, I I had been exercising already then for like 6 months pretty regularly, 3 times a week. I had been in and out of a few different therapies that I didn't feel were, when you walk in and they say, "What's your diagnosis?" And I'm like, well, self improvement is really like, I don't think, so I would find like I wouldn't really be connecting with therapists. And just an overall feeling when I woke up that I didn't want to wake up and that I couldn't believe I had to do another day, and exhaustion. And the drinking was giving me pretty much nightly panic attacks. I'd wake up at 2 a.m. in a panic every night. Just about. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was numbing it
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
just enough for you to go to sleep, but the anxiety was still there, and in fact,
Yeah.
it builds momentum, doesn't it?
Mhm.
We sort of shush it or avoid it, but then it gains that energy doesn't go anywhere until we move it,
Yeah.
so, fantastic, okay,
Mhm.
and you knew that you didn't wanna stay there, but I'm trying to think back and remember, did you have clarity about where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do and be instead of where you were?
Yes, because I knew, I remembered there was a memory of who I used to be, and I just wanted to get back to that. I wanted to get back to my early motherhood days where I was so excited. I just wanted to create magic. I just wanted to like make my kids have just magic in their life. And even so I had a memory of who I was, and I knew that person was still in there. This dress is symbolic because I was telling Anna earlier that prior to the kids, when I was the fun, in parentheses, all caps, um, I would wear a breakfast dress, and I would wake up and I'd, get one of my old vintage gowns that has rips and tears and stains, and I'd wear it to breakfast because, hey, it's breakfast. Let's wear a breakfast. Why would we not? Why are we not wearing breakfast dress, right? So that was my philosophy on life. And then to have gone so far from that uh, to not even have them in a bag and rolled up in a bag in the basement. So I'm wearing a breakfast dress today, although it's not breakfast. It might be breakfast for
Yeah,
California.
for us.
Symbolically, that is where I've gotten back to. I've gotten the breakfast dress out of the black garbage bag, uh,
And you're in it.
and I'm in it, and I'm wearing it, and it feels amazing.
Yeah, and you're just I know because I'm paying attention to what's going on for you and for everyone else who's been through Wicked Mother, and you are in amazing shape. You're totally fit. Now let's talk about like, okay, I don't want to jump too far ahead. I want to make sure to let people know, like, so a lot of the mothers in this group they have this sense that and they get on the clarity call and they go, I've done everything. And you probably said that too. Like,
Yeah.
I've done so many things and I'm so frustrated. Like, how could you be any different? Or how could Awakened Motherhood be any different? Because I've
Yeah.
read every book. I've gone to see 10 different therapists. I've been to naturopathy. I've been to acupuncture. I've done yoga. I've meditated. I've done supplements. I've done all of these things. And I still feel like a shell. I still feel disconnected, frustrated, anxious. So isn't it true that I'm just going to have to manage some level of this forever? People really do believe that. And I just want to blow up that belief to say all of the power is in your hands, and just have you so share with us. So you feel like you tried all the things. I
Yeah.
remember we
Yeah.
named that.
Yeah.
And so, but you hadn't. Right? But you
Yeah.
hadn't. And neither has anyone else who has not been through the recipe and formula and path of awakened motherhood. And so share now, what is different for you since you did it my way and this way, the way of awakened motherhood. What's different for you?
Just everything. I mean, the way, just, okay. So I think what you taught me, that there's first of all, okay, back to the key. So you gave us the key, we unlocked the door. Now it's up to us to commit to that and stepping through the door and walking that path. So then you teach us to breathe, and you teach us that to get back to ourselves, that's all we have to do. It's very simple. We breathe. And then you teach us to set intentions. And I don't want to give it all away, but you lay it out very clearly, and you say, this is what you need to do every day, twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. And it's hard work, but it's so simple. And so to commit to yourself, to do the work, to do the meditation, to set intentions, to neutrally evaluate yourself and your emotions every single day, to make that connection, is how you grow. It's how you know what you're feeling. It's how you know what you want. It's how to learn to dream for bigger things for yourself. And so I think for me, the thing that I write all over my house, on the walls, everywhere, is I do know, because you had said that once in a talk about looking for answers in outside sources, and you're never going to find them. You do know that little thing in your head that's like, bing, and you're like, oh, I do. That's the voice you need to listen to. And so I've learned to develop trust in that inner knowledge, that inner voice, that inner guidance. And as I went through the program with you, I'd be like, what the hell? Let me just trust this and do what this voice is telling me. And then it'd be like, amazing results. I can't believe that. And then you try a little bit bigger thing, and then a little bit bigger thing. And as you're trusting that voice time and time again, you're doing your own research, your own scientific evaluation of like, this shit is working. This is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. And then once I graduated from the program, then you're just like, what can't I do? So I can lose 40 pounds. I can go back to work full time and get a job and keep getting promoted and do amazing things that weren't even on my radar yet, that I hadn't even dreamed that big. And
in the midst of layoffs and quarantine and a crisis.
And then discovering that a few years after my mom died, that I loved to make music. And then in honors course, she planted the seed that she was just like, share your bliss. Like, one of the intentions she told me was, just every day, every time you sit down, just say, sharing my bliss is my true essence, and like around that thing, just like, I share my bliss. Like, she's like you mean it, like, I share my bliss with the world. And she's like, just walk out the road, and then next thing I know, I'm like singing on stage with my favorite musician for like 3 nights, like in Atlanta and Louisville and Tennessee. And then one of my biggest intentions I set every day now is that I'm so loved and so supported, and my music is loved and supported and championed. And just last week, a friend who I've been sharing some music with, who's a Louisville musician in a number of really successful bands, was like, that's it. I don't mean to be demanding. You need to push out 5 songs, and I'm bringing him to this guy to record him. He's going to dig your shit. And I really think we just need to just stop like fucking around and let's do this. And I was just like,
yes, McCarran, that's amazing.
And I just feel like a result of since last July, every time I sit down being like, I am going to dare to imagine myself on a stage, like singing to the people, to my people who came to me because they are connecting with what I'm doing artistically. And that's what I envision. And I'm just like, this shit's happening. Like, it's a very exciting place in your life when you realize that you have you are the person who can draw the framework, the architectural plans to get clear, because I think a lot of people don't know what they want, especially when you're in a place of lack, like I was when I first started. I was just in survival mode, barely surviving. And then you learn how to come out of that, and you do the work, and then you move into that place where you can dream. And that's where it gets really exciting, because you start to, those little like tickles of like, oh, wouldn't that be so amazing if that's who I was? And then you become it, and then you're just like, I just did that.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm doing that.
And wait, but see, what other things can I imagine about myself that's so awesome?
I love that so much about your story. Thank you for sharing that. You guys, McCarran is one of the pieces that you really trusted me on, that could be true for you. That's the only difference. It's not that it doesn't work for some people, or some people are better at it than others. It's about trusting that you can have it too. That's it. That's everything. That's why people say yes to Awakened Motherhood, and why people say no. They trust they can have it, or they don't believe, they don't quite trust that they can actually feel as good as you feel right now. And it's amazing to me that, and I'm really curious about it too, like what makes us ready? And I could go on all day about that, but like, it's very interesting how we just don't break open until we break open. And usually it has to be really dark and really ugly for us to open to the idea that it can be better than it is. It's got to get so extreme. And you really trusted me on that piece of, our dreams are co-created with the universe, and we are the only one in the way of how happy we can be. We're the only one in the way of the job that we want to create. We're the only one in the way of the financial comfort or abundance that we want to bring in. And you, one at a time, kind of just annihilated those limiting beliefs, those kind of inherited, cultural, self-created, all those things, self-limiting beliefs and thoughts, even to the point where your creative expression has just exploded. And I just love that so much. You really, you grabbed onto that more than I think most people do who go through Awakened Motherhood. And I think it's a leap of faith. It's a huge leap of faith to be like, I can do what Honor did. Like, there's no difference between her and me. Like, you just got to know that. You just got to know that's true. And you really went for it. Look at the amazing evidence in your life of that.
I think the other really cool thing about, oh, thank you. I think the other
open to receiving, as well. Yeah. Did you guys catch that? She's like, yeah, and oh wait, thank you. I received that.
I do have a lot of notes where it says receive. You have to receive.
Stop, receive, breathe.
The great thing about the program, I was hesitant at first to go into. I'd been looking for a holistic therapist in Louisville for a long time, and I don't think there are many. So when your program came along, I was like, could this is not really what I don't want to do group therapy. Like, I really can't see how this is going to work. But I let part of what you were talking about, what changed for me was just like, what the hell? Like, I have to give this a try. My intuition is telling me to follow this path. It helped that my good friend had done the program, and that I saw all these amazing changes in her firsthand. So that helped. But then as you're going through the program and you're meeting every week with these women, you're watching their lives completely shift.
Yeah.
You're seeing evidence of this every single time in such ways that you're just like, holy shit. This isn't just Honor being like, oh, I'm doing, like, I can make anything happen. It's like you're teaching these tools to women who are then implementing them, who are then coming back week after week and working through the shit with us as a group. And it becomes such a foundation of like a network of support and magic. And I now have relationships with some of the women that I took the course with. There's a group of 6 of us that do Marco Polos, and we're constantly reaffirming what we learned with.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
And we do like a weekly call, and we're reading Awakened Family, discussing the book. I haven't made any of those calls because I worked in the time of doing that. But yeah, and so we recognize the value of the language that you teach us to speak, and it can be sometimes difficult to discuss what we've learned and what we're trying to do with ourselves to people that don't speak that language and who haven't been awakened, I guess. So it was really essential for us to form that group
Mhm.
so we can reflect back to each other and speak the same language and be like, "What would Honor say?" You know? Um,
That's
so,
funny. Well, you know, one of the things that's funny about that that I love is that people often near the end of our time together, it's 12 week, our 12 weeks together, will come onto a call, and I'm sure you've done this and say, so I was going through this and I hit a wall and I asked myself, I asked you the question in my head, and I do this with my own coaches. And I heard you say that, da, 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 da. So, and then I just did it. And now it's gone
yeah.
because you internalize the new voice. And that's what's so beautiful. And one of the things that I'm really good at is highlighting to you that internal voice in you and what does she have to say, and to be able to connect with that is your holy grail. That's everything. That's your all you ever need. That I know, because what we do is fill up on everyone else's voices and the energy of culture and where it is right now, and that low vibrational frequency that's happening in most humans right now and on the planet. And what we have to do to release anxiety and negativity is tap into that truth of who we are, essence, that energy that's in the trees, and that God consciousness. So I love and appreciate just all of your incredible progress. Will you tell us what it's like to be in your life, in your body now? Like, what's different about you as a mom? What's different about you as an ex partner, a co-parent to your ex?
Yeah.
Uh, what's different?
There's, I have the ability to really process what I'm feeling in the moment. This is something that just starts to happen as you practice this, but um, instead of in the past where I would react or I'd feel, I wouldn't know what I'm feeling, but I would just be like, I feel like shit. And then now I can, this in one of your Oasis calls, which is the alumni group, I think you had us do this exercise where you said, just place your hand over your heart. How are you feeling? Sit with that. Just feel it. And I do that 20 times a day because that's how I can connect. If I'm not able to sit and meditate, that's a quick little like boost of like, what's going on here? Like what,
Check
how come
in.
why am I feeling, why am I scattered? Why am I feeling anxious all of a sudden? Why am I scared? Like, and that instantly can connect me to dispersing that, and to not all the time, but sometimes it takes a little longer. But and even in the moment, co-parenting with my ex-husband, uh, we have a great relationship. The tools I learned in AM allow me to, when I get triggered by him, to be able to say, hey, let's work this out. Like, or if he, it's giving me the tools I need to, in the moment, realize what is mine, what's not mine. Are my emotions playing a part in this? What am I really feeling? And so it's just giving me that wherewithal of, I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but
Yes,
it gives
amazing.
me, it gives me the tools I need in the moment to really react from my heart and not from like my brain, or it's just, yeah, I don't
Are
know.
you guys getting this? It's so powerful. We love to see your comments. Drop some comments for us. What you're talking about, Karen, is huge. There are so many women who I think you were probably the first person who ever signed up to our work together on the same day that you met with your attorney and signed divorce papers. And since then, there have been a long line of women who have the papers, and they just haven't they don't want it. They're in a different place from you. They don't want to separate because for them, they actually really want to stay with this person, but it's so broken. The conflict is so steep, and the heart, there's so much damage done. And there's just a lot of fear, a lot of fear. And it takes a couple things, I think, like that you brought up, the courage to make a bold decision that I'm not going to suffer anymore. I get to this doesn't have to be so bad, that we can find goodness here. And your relationship with your ex, who is still a huge part of your life,
Mhm.
such a beautiful testament to you owning your own, your truth and what's come for you guys since you've started to do that. Um,
Well, he's shifting as well. Like through this process, he's on his whole own, journey to awaken fatherhood. And I asked him halfway through the divorce, I was like, I wonder if I had done this work prior, could I have saved our marriage? And he was like, yeah, you probably could. Yeah, probably. And I was like, wait, that's not right. That was a hypothetical question because you have to do your work because you got your shit. But I mean, ultimately, I feel like, and we both love each other very much. We are currently, this chapter of our life is us honoring each other and honoring ourselves to do the work we need to do apart because we were suffering together. And we both hope to come back together on the other side of this, but we both understand it. We can't come back together until he's done his work. I've done my work, which I still have more work to do because he still triggers me and I still get wrapped up in his story. There's this dynamic that we have. And so, yeah, I think that I've also seen a lot of AM women who were having huge struggles in their relationships, and then they cleared up through AM, and then the husband would see his wife shine and make changes, miraculous changes that I would be sitting there being like, damn it, I want that, and like, I think I might be taking a different route, but like, it was, I don't think holding divorce papers in your hand necessarily mean anything. Do this work, do this course, that it doesn't have, it just helps. Yeah. You have to look at yourself and deal with yourself before you can really be partners to anybody else, even your children.
Yeah, the story, when you're at that point of separation, of divorce, the story has become your truth.
Yeah.
And the real truth is that story, it's well rehearsed and well practiced thoughts, and it's deeply ingrained energy and emotions and hurt and past wounding, and it can all be forgiven. It can all be erased and made right. Like, it's not that we have to just forget the hurt or betrayal happened. It's we have to love, and we have to stop betraying ourselves. We have to show up for ourselves. And when we do, then, as you say, the partner can do a 180. And yeah, for some it takes longer. For some, there's more codependent patterns we have to blow up and disengage from. But when that happens, then we do see the change. It's inevitable. We're all connected and related, and it's inevitable. It has to happen. That's the cool thing about it. When we change, those we're connected with have to experience that as well. So it's a part of the deal. It is a part of the deal. Okay, tell us what is, and we're going to wrap up in a few minutes. So you guys ask questions if you have them, and I'm so glad you're here to hang with us and give McCarran love, because it's an amazing gift to this community to have her sharing the depth of her heart and soul and story with all of you. It's really personal, and let's give her props for her courage, and just so much thanks for being here. What would you say is for you the most valuable thing you're taking away with you from our experience together, or your time in Awakened Motherhood?
I think there's so many, and they're all interrelated, but
Yeah.
I would say the ability to manifest my desires, my heart's desires. I think just not even knowing I had that power, or knowing, like, I read The Secret, that book, but it doesn't really tell you what you need to know. It just tells you you can do this,
Yeah.
but it doesn't tell you how. But you shine the light on that. That is, trusting myself to know. I'm going to say that. I do know.
Yeah. And what does that make possible for you? What does that open up for you? You know that you know what you need and want.
It opens up everything. It opens up everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because if I'm looking for an outside, when I find myself being like, I wish someone would just tell me what to do. Who can I call? What can I research? What can I look up online? And then when I have that moment where I'm like, silly. Like, no one can tell you. Like, you know what to do. And if you don't know, sit in meditation and feel. Sit and breathe and just feel what you're feeling. Go through the checklist that Honor's given you. How are your emotions? How's your breathing? How's your pace? Like, that's how you know. That's how you come to know, is you sit with yourself and you breathe.
And
It's beautiful, and it's so simple.
I love it. I know. I could really literally talk about this all day with you. And I also know you have a job to go back to, but if I may add that I remember, so what happens for people is they try to put into practice everything we're talking about alone. And then they get really frustrated and feel like a failure because nothing changes. And you've had such a shit year by the world standards in terms of, a divorce, super like single mom, high needs kids, haven't been in the workforce.
My dad likes,
And your dad, I was going to name too. You lost your dad.
Yeah.
So, and trauma history coming up huge there with that loss. And how, how much of that old abandonment, of that old wounding did you really have to go through this year? And in the presence of that, you chose you. You found the lighthouse. You got yourself on dry land. You are more fit than probably you've been in a long time. You landed a job out of the clear blue sky that has great pay, that you've been promoted in how many times now?
3.
Several promotions. They love you.
In 10 months. I stopped drinking. I'm 15 months sober.
Drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I just want everyone to really get it. Like, McCarran has been through the shit, and she is not any more of a golden child than you all are. She is a person who's lived a really rich life, including a lot of pain, as many of us have. And look at where you are now. I mean, it's just so beautiful that you found this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I remember going through it when my dad was dying and being like, I am just going to breathe. I was like, I got this. My brain is telling me freak out, have a panic attack, but my inner knowing is telling me you don't have to. You got this. You can breathe through this. And like, just knowing the divorce, my dad dying, trying to write a resume after like 10 years of being a stay-at-home mom remember my self-worth issues? I was just like, I'm so not good enough. Mom. I just am humiliated that I haven't been out there working, and I had to work through, like, from 5 years old having self-worth issues. Took me 3 months to write that resume, but like, having to go deep, deep, deep and feel it all, and like having the tools, the guidance, the program, the support of all these amazing mamas who every week I'd come on and they'd be like, they took the journey with me. I mean, it's such a great support. And so wherever you are in your life, you don't have to be at the bottom. Maybe you're doing great. Maybe things are going well, but there's so much more support for you out there. There's universal support, which Honor will teach you about. Like, there's support of just your own breath can support you. Honor lives and breathes this, and her compassion and her tone and her just dedication to helping mothers. It's just so evident and beautiful, and she's just a gift, and she's changing families one by one. And show up and be courageous, and just get on that clarity call with her, because what are you waiting for? It's just, I put it off at 3 months. I could have been 3 months further along.
You did? Oh, it's funny. Oh no, perfect divine timing. It's
perfect divine timing.
In perfect divine timing. It is. We have to trust that. Thank you. I'm receiving that with such an open heart. You do know that you know me enough to know, and everyone, I get personal with people in Awakened Motherhood. Everyone knows that I'm definitely doing the work myself, and my life isn't perfect, and we have hard days here. And also, there's just so much goodness. There's so much love. There's so much joy, and it just keeps getting better. And the better it gets, the better it gets. It's just, it's such a gift. It's all a gift. So I love you so much. Thank you for sharing your heart and your soul and your light and your breakfast dress. What a joy to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. If you guys have any questions for McCarran about her experience, please do drop them in the comments here, and we can go back and check the Facebook when we can see who you are. StreamYard doesn't show us the names of the commenters. And give her some hearts and love for showing up for all of you. McCarran doesn't get anything other than, just a heap of nerves to do this. So that's not really true. When we give and show up and participate, we are rewarded with so much abundance from the universe. So I know you will be. Thank you so much, McCarran, and peace out, you guys. We'll see you all. We'll see you all later. Check back comments later.
Love you.